Welcome back to the Relaxing Ghost channel here on YouTube. As always, your host with the most, Ghost. Take some time and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. This is going to be a special review requested by Dan Curley. So happy birthday to you, Dan. Thank you for the suggestion. If you guys have any other suggestions, make sure to comment down below. So here we got Living on a Razor's Edge, the Scott Hall story. Released back in 2016. This is one of my personal favorite DVDs. Unfortunately, in Canada, they never released the steelbook, so that's one DVD I'm still, hoping to get for my collection. So right away, we got a beautiful cover there with Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, really cool spine. So here we go. Say hello to the bad guy. For the first time ever, Home Video sits down with Scott Hall as he takes the WWE Universe on a personal journey through his entire sports entertainment career, from his meteoric rise in WWE as Razor Ramon to being one of the founding members of the notorious group known as the NWO. To overcoming personal demons to become the man he is today, this story of redemption shows that it ain't how many times you go down, it's how many times you get up. So really, really cool artwork here with Razor Ramon on the back here from his early days in the AWA through his WWE run in the early 90s, WrestleMania 10. So like I said, a 2016 release, only 7-hour runtime, which is kind of sad. Who knows, maybe we'll get a second part to this, or another Scott Hall Ultimate Collection, or something like that. So got a shot of Scott Hall with Rick Martel, Bret Hart. One thing I really liked about Scott Hall is his gear. He had a great body. Scott Hall was probably my favorite member of the NWO. So underrated in that time. So take a look at the disc art. I like the disc art like this, where they kind of portray the through the years look. So we got disc 1. Disc 1, Big Scott Hall. Disc 2, Razor Ramon. And disc 3 as Scott Hall from the NWO. So we'll take a look at the artwork here first, then we'll run down the matches. So we got a shot of Scott Hall with Shawn Michaels, Razor Ramon versus Shawn, with Booker T, and versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, WrestleMania 18. Really, really cool. So very good documentary, one of my favorites from 2016. That's pretty much the entire disc 1. Disc 2, we got Razor Ramon debut vignettes, a lot of vignettes there, and some stories. Then we go through the matches, starting from Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling in 1984, American Starship versus Inferno 1 and 2. Then we go to ESPN Wrestling, Scott Hall versus Michael Hayes. We got a $100,000 Battle Royal. We got In This Corner with Scott Hall. Wrestle Rock 86, AWA Tag Title match, Scott Hall and Kurt Hennig versus the Long Riders. Diamond Stud versus Tommy Rich. We got the Diamond Exchange from WCW, which would be DDP and Scott Hall versus Brian Lee and Chris Sullivan. Now getting into his WWE stuff. Razor Ramon versus Paul Von Dale. which I believe is Carmella's father. Royal Rumble 93, Bret Hart versus Razor. Raw, Razor Ramon versus The Kid. Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon. Then we got Razor versus Rick the Model Martel. WrestleMania 10 ladder match for the IC title versus Shawn Michaels. Disc 3, SummerSlam 94, Razor with Walter Payton versus Diesel and Shawn Michaels. Rumble 95 versus Jeff Jarrett. Rumble 96 versus Goldust. Now his WCW stuff. Hog Wild, The Outsiders versus Sting and Luger. Halloween Havoc 96, Outsiders versus Harlem Heat. Scott Hall versus Scott Steiner. Scott Hall versus Chris Jericho versus Sting. Outsiders versus Goldberg and Sid Vicious. Now back in WWE on SmackDown, Scott Hall versus The Rock. And WrestleMania 18, Scott Hall versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. Very, very good collection of matches. So, very, very good documentary. I'll kind of show you through the years here. So, definitely pick this one up if you haven't already, guys. This is one of my personal favorites, like I mentioned. And the one thing they could have included in this is the Hall of Fame induction speech from Scott. Because it wasn't that long, so I think, an extra 15, 20 minutes could have brought this up to about 8 hours. So really, really cool DVD, guys. Definitely a thumbs up from me. One of my personal favorites, like I mentioned already. So take some time and subscribe to the channel, guys. Keep sending in your suggestions, guys. We'll talk to you later. Peace.